Hello everybody. This past April, my wife ran her first ever Boston Marathon, and I attended the Boston Marathon for the first time as a spectator. We attended the expo a couple of times. On the first visit, we noticed some people doing what they call a foot bath, and I was super intrigued, but we didn't have time to do it right then. There was a $20 charge to sample the product and get this foot bath. And as we watched other runners doing the soak, what formed in the tub of water was amazing. It looked almost like the bottom of a porta-john. Luckily it didn't smell, but the stuff that was coming out of people's feet was kind of mind-blowing. So when we went back to the expo with more time, a second visit, we ended up investing in an Alimtox detoxifying system. I'm not going to begin to try to explain the science of how it works. It sort of seems to me to be like a grounding or earthing experience on steroids. But the idea is that the biggest pores in our body are in our feet, and when we hook up an electronic device to the wrist, put our feet in the water, hook up the machine, put what's called an array into the water, get the salt content just right. You get the whole process set up. It's not too cumbersome. You do at least a 30-minute soak. For a larger body size, over 100 pounds, you do up to an hour of soak. And I'm just going to read you the list of benefits. The company doesn't claim to heal any diseases. I like that they're a holistic, they come at it with a holistic approach, that their product is designed to help your body heal itself. So what they are claiming this does is liver detoxification, purge heavy metals, enhance immune system, sleep better, internal cleansing with full body purge, increase energy, reduce stress, liver, kidneys, and parasite cleanse, significant pain relief, improve memory, enhance immune system, helps wrinkle, acne, and skin issues, and improve sexual health. Who wouldn't want this? Next, I will demonstrate the product, but since many of you are runners or endurance junkies, part of the kind of sales pitch, the reason for them being at the Boston Marathon Expo, was to explain to runners that this device will help cleanse red blood cells. Ultimately, the objective is to increase oxygen uptake by having healthier, cleaner red blood cells, and it helps pull lactic acid out of the runner's body after tough workouts. Okay, the first thing I do is, since we have well water and a water softener, I use water from an outside spigot that has not been through the water softener. That's important because for this device we have to use clean water and add non-iodized salt. Just a couple of light shakes. I put some water into this bowl and heat it up just so that the foot soak's a little more comfortable. And this goes on the wrist, where this metal touches the inside of the wrist. So for men, it's always on the left arm. For women, always on the right. And I don't know why. That's just how it is. This is the array that goes into the water. It's plugged into the back of this device, which is the brains and power of the unit. So this is properly installed, snug on the wrist with the metal by the blood vessels. This plugs in to the back of the device. Feet go in. The array is in place. Power is on. I'm going to hit start and watch for the salt content basically to be measured at a 1.8 is about the ideal. So with a couple of shakes of salt into the water, mixed in really well, I'm already at 1.8, so I'm good on salt. And basically I'm going to do a 30-minute soak and then probably 10 or 15 more minutes after that. This is an old array. The arrays are good for maybe 30 to 40 foot baths at a half hour. So I am no longer doing a full hour on my soaks because I weigh closer to about 150, 155 pounds. So I don't feel like I need to go the full hour. The less time the array is bubbling, as you can maybe see the kind of bubbles coming up here, that is what's putting the wear and tear on the array. Eventually it sort of rusts out and you can see what's left on a worn out array. You know it doesn't work when you can't get the 1.8, 1.9 or better measurement here. And if you use, when I used softened water from our kitchen faucet, this number went over 2.3 or 2.4, which causes the whole system to shut down. That was a mistake I only made one time. Currently, I'm only about 4 minutes into this process, and you can see the water is already starting to turn brown, and there's some light colored, almost white stuff starting to float on the surface. Now, the various textures and colors of things floating on the surface tells us information about what's coming out of the body. But it also should be noted that it's estimated that about 20% of the discoloration of the water is simply from the water and the array itself. And so theoretically everything else that ends up down in here is coming out of the body via the pores in our feet. Next, I want to read to you the specifics on who should never use the Alimtox ion generator. If you have epilepsy, electrical charges can induce seizures, even if there are no seizures with medication. So if you're an epilepsy patient, do not use this device. Next, if you have a pacemaker or defibrillator, do not use because of the potential electrical interference. However, if you merely have a stent from a heart surgery, artery surgery, you can use the device. So this is just a warning for anybody with a pacemaker or defibrillator, do not use. Next, if you are pregnant, do not use the device. And do not use if you've had organ transplants, such as a liver or a heart. It's not a problem with replaced knees or hips or breast implants, but with big organ transplants, such as the liver or heart, do not use the Alimtox. Diabetics should be aware that blood sugars may drop some points during use of the device. So if you're diabetic, just use the Alimtox with caution. If you have metal pins or rods or replacement parts, if the part is titanium, that is not a problem. Titanium does not conduct electricity. Stainless steel was used over 20 years ago, so those clients may feel a small itch in the area. It's not an issue for 99 out of 100 people will never notice anything. So I think that's just a warning that there might be some odd sensations if you have stainless steel rods or such in your body. I believe if you search online for this device, You might find it for $1,600 or $1,700. We found a discount off the Marathon Expo price. The cost was over $1,000. It included 2 of these wrist devices and a couple of the arrays. Now, again, the arrays do wear out, and if you only buy those one at a time, I believe they cost $40. Future pricing is, of course, subject to change, but please contact me either in the comments on this email or by Facebook, or I'll leave my email address, and I will try to save you several $100s off the price of this device. 1.9, that's looking just about perfect. I want to see a number less than 2.3 and more than 1.7. Close to 1.8 is ideal. And I have 21 more minutes to go on this cycle. And you can see there's quite a bit of brown stuff floating on the water already. The white bubbles are allegedly mucus. So the device that allegedly pulls mucus out of the body. It basically cleans all of the body's organs, including the skin. Our skin is our biggest organ. This sheet came from the reps at the Alimtox station at the Expo. And basically what this is about is the observations from what collects in the foot bath. And for example, dark yellow usually indicates bladder toxins, and then there's more detail over here as to what that exactly means. Could be from too much coffee, tea, soda, or from lack of water or diabetes medicines. Reddish green is generally kidney toxins. We'll probably see a good amount of green in here. Green and brown is what I tend to see. Amber can indicate urinary tract toxins. Orange represents possible joint toxins. Black is liver toxins. Dark green, gallbladder toxins. White foam is lymphatic system drainage. In other words, mucus from the body. So what I noticed after just the one $20 trial treatment at the Expo was that I was breathing better that night. I believe that this process helps my respiratory health. And I'm also hoping that my PSA, prostate numbers will drop as a result of using this consistently, most of the time twice per week. Oftentimes I get some tingling sensation in my feet and lower legs while I'm doing this. Haven't felt it yet today. Okay, going back to this. Red flecks indicates blood clot materials. White cheese, whatever that is fungal byproducts. Light brown, cellular debris from the lungs. It makes sense that as an ultra runner I would have a lot of light brown, and there it is. Odorous purple is old locked-in drugs. Not common, it says. I don't take any medication unless I absolutely have to. It's probably been, Tunnel Hill 100, 2015. I think that was the last time I took any ibuprofen. I just don't take things unless I have to. Once a day I take a Synthroid tablet. I have to because of thyroid cancer in 2004. So one of the reasons I have this device, we invested in it is because I had cancer at age 42 and I'm almost 60. So I'm doing things with the idea of preventing cancer in the future. Rancid odors, thankfully I've not had any of that. Little creatures, the lady who educated us on this device, Paula, she said that she's seen parasites come out into the water from people's bodies. Reddish brown is cardiovascular toxins. It could be from cholesterol meds, poor circulation, stress, poor diet. I should not have that since I got off my cholesterol med. It's finally after about 3 months of being on a vegan diet. So that would have been in early 2011. Oily substance cholesterol is a sign of cholesterol coming out of the body and into here. Dark brown is a colon byproduct. As a vegan, almost 12-year plant-based runner, I've never had a problem with constipation. But dark brown indicates poor digestion. Currently, there are only 12 minutes to go in this 30-minute cycle, and I'm at a 1.8, which is perfect. Getting back to this list. Yellow-green is an indication of potential problems with the reproductive system. So for females, that could have to do with menopause issues, long-term birth control, hysterectomy, infections. For men, toxic buildup in the prostate. So I already know that I've long had some enlargement of the prostate, so I'm hoping to reverse that. And also lower PSA numbers, which would lessen future prostate cancer risk. I have no thyroid. White cream on top indicates thyroid issues, hormone imbalance. So I guess if my dosage on my Synthroid were off, maybe there'd be some white cream on top. Metallic smell would indicate metal toxicity. Usually indicates heavy metal build. So obviously if we have any kind of toxic metals in our body, we want to try to filter that out, and allegedly that's what the system will do. Luckily, I have not noticed a fecal odor, I think is what that's supposed to say, which would indicate a colon backup. Again, long-term vegan would be very unlikely to have that. Now, I am a yeast intolerant, so this next one, this what they call yellowish cheese, I don't know that I've seen that, but that's indicates a candida issue, yeast buildup from sugars, breads, sources like soda, as well as from fruit, chemical exposure, antibiotics, and other medications. Now, I've not been on antibiotics for well over 10, 15 years, and I tend to avoid anything with yeast and minimize processed sugar consumption. So hopefully I will not see that. This cycle is down to about 1 minute. You can see all those gnarly bubbles with brown stuff floating on top. It's just a lot of nasty stuff coming out of my body, and I'm pretty healthy. I called the specialist who sold us this unit, and she confirmed with me that this process would not pull any good nutrients out of my body. In other words, I don't have to replenish any vitamins, minerals, or nutrients after using this device. So that's very encouraging to know that all that stuff that's coming out of my body, it's a great thing that it's not there. It's going to enhance my immune system, and who knows what all the unintended or unexpected positive side effects could be. I'm very optimistic. You may have heard the machine beep a few minutes ago. That meant the half-hour cycle is complete. So all I have to do now is hit the start button. That will start another 30-minute cycle, but I will only do about 10 or 15 minutes. I think that gets me everything I need done for my body weight. And I'll show you what this water looks like and what my foot looks like at that time. Not sure if you can read this, but it's at 19 minutes. Yeah, 19 minutes to go. So I'm going to turn this off as I've had 40 minutes of cell cleanse, ion generator, foot bath here. Okay, so this is off. I'm going to take the wrist strap off. Unplug that. Next, going to pull out the array. You can see just how gross that is. There's a lot of stuff that's come out of my relatively clean and healthy body. I'll wash that off a lot better under some hot water and some pressure. I just sort of messed up what was forming on the surface here, but you probably had seen lots of bubbles, indicates mucus, lymphatic cleanse. Quite a bit going on here. This is what it typically looks like for me. But if a less healthy person were to do this for 40 to 60 minutes, it would be significantly worse looking. Next, I'm going to show you what my feet look like. Yep, pretty gross, but it rinses right off super easy. There's nothing sticky or oily. It comes off real quick and easy. So I'll rinse that off, and then I'll probably take this outside and hose out the plastic bag. I can reuse those a few times. It's a 13-gallon kitchen bag. And basically, that's it. I'll scrub the tub out, clean things up, and do this again in about 3 to 4 days.